Tina Cross, 67-year-old cross-dresser, live in Essex. Been cross-dressing for about 20 years now, full-time. Well, I say full-time as Tina, swapping between Jeff and Tina. But I've been dressing since I was about 5 or 6. By being a whole person, I'm in touch with my feminine and masculine sides, but the feminine side is stronger. So I dress to be seen. Okay, yeah, for the first 4 or 5 years of life, brought up in a very non-binary household. Mum taught us, my sister and myself, to cook, sew, do the cleaning, knitting, that sort of thing. My sister and I used to do little shows, swapping each other's clothes for Mum and Dad. But then when I started school, Dad noticed that I perhaps had more feminine traits than he liked, and he wasn't having a sissy for a son, so I was pushed into the karate, boxing, army cadets, etc. All the masculine things, so that he got the son that he wanted. Oh, that was great. Yes, it only lasted about 18 months. It was back in the 60s. It was to do with our church group. We had a couple of guitarists, a drummer, and there was 2 of us did lead singing on it. Fabulous time. And then my voice broke, unfortunately, and that was the end of that singing career. Looking back through a lot of time and various countries, religions, they recognise more than one gender. I mean, the Native Americans recognise 5 genders. The Indian subcontinents recognise 5 or 6 genders. The Aborigines' genders has nothing to do with sex or genitalia at all. It's the way you are perceived in your brain. You're male or female, or you're hermaphrodite, which is both. You identify with the person you feel you want to be. That's how I define gender. Sexuality is something different. That is whether you fancy guys, girls, or both, and want a physical relationship with them, which is nothing to do with gender. Well, I was fairly lucky. I got out from under my father's thumb at 16 by becoming an apprentice chef, which meant I was working away from home in various hotels around the country. Hotel life is quite lonely unless you get talking to the other staff. Well, the first hotel I was in, I was very lucky. I talked to 2 French girls and sort of told them that I enjoyed dressing up. And at the age of 17, I had my very first semi-professional makeover in the hotels. But again, you do feel like you're the only person doing it in those days. But word of mouth gets round from various hotels you work in. The catering trade is notorious for knowing all the seedier side of life that goes on. And at the time, cross-dressing, being trans, was considered seedy at the time. So that's how I learned about it. Second hotel I worked in, actually, there was another girl who helped me buy clothes and learn about fashion. But by then I'd been practicing the makeup, so I sort of got quite proficient by then. Yeah, it all started that early days I had nowhere to go. I didn't have the help that I wanted. I made a lot of silly mistakes, which we'll come to a bit later. So, yeah, again with the internet, girls can come to my house, dress with another cross-dresser, dress in private if they can't do it at home, have a nice cup of tea, have a chat, give them the support that some girls need. Yeah, the girls have nicknamed it Hotel Tina. I do run Christmas dinners for the lonely girls, the ones that have been rejected by friends and family. My family have the 25th, 26th of December. The girls have the 27th, 28th, right through to the 1st of January. Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve party. Any events that we're going to, they can come and stay over. Or if they just want to come over for an evening and chill, they're more than welcome. Yeah, that was a very sort of sad time of life. When I first started to come out, there was no internet, and the fetish clubs were the only places we could really go and be dressed. Unfortunately, once you go 3 or 4 times to these clubs, just dressed, have a drink, it's nice, they expect you to join in the games. If you don't, you're not welcome anymore. So, as the least of the games, Tina decided that maybe getting spanked as a fetish game wasn't such a bad idea. Cross-dressing, it was wrong, so getting punished for doing it seemed a fair trade, a sore backside for being able to dress and go out. Great. Unfortunately, games carried too far, and unfortunately I actually got raped twice during the fetish scene type thing. Blamed Tina for it, and everything was thrown away, burnt, destroyed. Yeah, very sad time of life. Obviously, Tina persona is such a strong part of my life. It wasn't long before I was yearning to be Tina again. So started searching the internet this time. We'd got a computer. Found a place called Trans Living, which is a support group for trans girls, cross-dressers, etc. Checked them out. It wasn't a fetish club, or so it seemed at the time, so Tina bought some more clothes, got a new wig. First time I went, drove all the way, which was about 12 miles, sat in the car park and turned around and went home again. Second month, because there were monthly meetings, I actually managed to get there and get out of the car this time, but there was people in the car park. Back in the car, home again. Third time I thought, this is silly, you've got to go in there, and you're making all this effort. Actually got through the door, and my, what a difference. It wasn't the seedy, dark little clubs I've been used to going out. It's a brightly lit room full of girls just like me. Absolutely amazing experience, and Tina's never looked back since. Oh, it's amazing. I mean, back in the 60s, up till about 75, you could be out and about in the street, the hippies, the summer of love, glam rock, all those sort of things, up till the punk era came in. Unfortunately, the punk era drove us all underground again. You had to go back to the secret clubs to actually be accepted as a cross-dresser or risk being beaten up. Hence the reason I ended up in the fetish clubs years ago. But these days, we can go anywhere. We very often do these days. Straight pubs all over the country, and we're the talk of the town. There was a pub we went to in Derbyshire, the Greyhound in Ashcombe, I think it's, or Asham, somewhere like that. 20 of us. And she's been asking us to go back for the last 3 years. She wouldn't go to bed until her girls had left. Brilliant. And that's how much things have changed. We've become more high profile. We are more accepted. The seedy little clubs are dying out. There's proper venues, proper events if we want to go to them. And also, the general public accepts us wherever we go. Yes, that was actually a mistake. I'd gone up there to help 2 other girls come out. First time they'd been to Sparkle. And this one particular girl decided she wanted to go in for the Miss Golden Sparkle contest. Too nervous. Could Tina hold her hand while she signed in? No problem. Tina, that's what Tina does. So I'm going along. Next thing I know, she signed me in for it as well. There I am, getting ready, up on stage. I actually came fourth. Quite amazing for the first time. And this other poor girl didn't come anywhere, unfortunately. But yeah, so going for the Miss Golden Sparkle the first time wasn't actually a mistake. Well, that was about 3 or 4 months of hell. I actually got to the stage of feeling suicidal at work. I came out to friends and family at a fancy dress party, which worked. I mean, if it hadn't worked, it's fancy dress. Tina's back in the closet. It did work. Everyone accepted Tina, so Tina's out loud and proud. Unfortunately, my son, who's a professional photographer, took the pictures for the fancy dress, but neglected to tell me that 2 weeks before he'd taken my boss's daughter's wedding and posted them up on the same website. Monday when I go into work, Tina's pictures are all over. Well, I was a lorry driver at the time, very masculine, a lot of ex-cons driving the forklifts, this sort of thing. I was every pervert, shirt lifter, paedophile you could think of. And that went on for 3 or 4 months. Yeah, I say, another quite a bad time. I did get to the point of being suicidal. It was only the support of other girls that sort of kept me on the straight and narrow. But anyway, to turn that round, on my birthday, I'd gone out with a group of girls, friends, and unfortunately the ringleader from work was in there getting a takeaway with his mates. So I sort of said to friends, look, it's Mick over there. Perhaps he won't notice me. Next thing I know, he's sent a drink over. Thank you very much, mate. Carry on, just ignoring. 5 minutes later, there's another drink come over and I'm being beckoned to the bar. So I sort of said, look, I'll give him his bit of fun, his mates. Come back and finish my birthday off with no problem. Goes up to the bar. Yeah, thanks for the drinks. Oh, it's your birthday, is it? Yes. Oh, you're out with friends? Yes. Who are you going home with afterwards? Well, I was going home with a friend. You wouldn't like to come home with me? And I'm thinking all the time, where's the punchline coming here? And it turns out he actually didn't recognise me at the time. So it's got to the stage where I've sort of let him put his arms around me and he's signalling to his mates, oh, it's all right, I've pulled, and let him kiss me full on the lips. And off came the wick. Hello, Mick, how you doing, mate? Pushed me away rather violently, but his mates are killing themselves laughing now. And the whole restaurant is in uproar. My mates are all clapping. Things settled down at work after that, because he doesn't know to this day whether anyone got any pictures. But the upside of the story, 3 months later I did the pink day at work for breast cancer. Pink, you don't get any more pink than Tina was that day. Pink tights, pink shoes, pink dress, pink hair, pink lipstick, pink everything. And I drove the lorry all day, which raised over £400 for the charity. But he was one of the first people to sponsor me for doing it. So you can turn people around if you try. Persevere. Well, again, that started from saying no to somebody. The TV company posted on the website that they wanted a girl to come out to friends and family on camera. Well, I phoned up and said it's not going to happen, it's a private thing. Most girls are too timid. They'll tell a brother, a sister, a mother, father first, and then let the word spread slowly. See how it goes. And then I made the silly comment, unless you happen to be Tina Cross, and told them about me coming out at the fancy dress party, etc. So they came down and made a pilot film about me, about the song, sent it off to Grayson Perry, and he jumped at the chance to come down and do a short documentary about Hotel Tina with me. Marvellous experience. He's quite a strange guy, I suppose, being sort of a genius or whatever he classes himself as. He is, but he's good fun. It's great to work with him. Happiest time actually comes from one of the saddest times. Last year for Christmas. So Tina's a little bit of an agony aunt. I had 4 girls phoning me up, very lonely at Christmas, feeling suicidal, etc. But the last one, I had to actually go and rescue her. I was pulling pills out of her mouth and waiting for the ambulance to arrive. And I took a few days away to get away from it all, down to Cornwall. While I was away, a lot of my internet friends clubbed together, bought me a massive hamper, bottle of whiskey, bunch of flowers to cheer Tina up. I know it sounds sad, but I think that was the happiest time, knowing the support I give was appreciated. Right, initially, when I first told them I was going to go to the party as a girl, they were in uproar. Yeah, you can't do that. You've got to come as Gandalf, a gnome, God, anything. You can't come as a girl. I said, yeah, I can. No. Anyway, turned up. Marvellous comments. The boys were a little bit taken aback, I think, but accepted it was something that was giving me pleasure in life, and if it pleased me, they'd accept it. Now the girls, on the other hand, whoa, they're over the moon. Dad spends a lot more on his wardrobe than they do, so they're always popping around borrowing things. So yeah, the girls love it. The boys are still a little bit indifferent, but they're fine. The girls come round, they'll chat, they'll have a drink with us. So yeah, the family's fine. Right, there's so many girls out there are still coming to terms with who they are or who they want to be. There's so many girls still will dress at home. They'll post pictures on the internet, usually legs or underwear or below the chin shots, because they're too shy. If you talk to these girls, they want to go out, but they haven't got the courage to do it. So by me going and holding their hand, either going to meet them as their guy self, bring them back to my place, they can dress in private, in comfort, for the first time in their lives usually, with another T-girl. And after that, very few of them look back. I also arrange country house weekends in various places around the country. Normally take between 6 and 12 girls. And a lot of these girls, it's the first time they've ever been out in public anywhere. And just showing them that we are accepted, giving them that little bit of confidence that I've got, seems to help them tremendously. Find a good, friendly CD club first. If you've got a friend to go with a friend. Don't dream the dream, come and live the life. Be out there. There's nothing wrong in being out loud and proud. The world does accept us. There's so many girls are down because they cannot come to terms with who they are themselves. It's this fight between man and, a bit like I had when I was younger and Dad wanted the macho boy child and I wanted to be the sissy boy child. It's that fight in their personality. All you can do is talk to them. Try and point out that it's not wrong to be both. Be both if you want. Then decide which way you want to go when you've got that confidence. Yeah, for all you girls that are sitting at home there, not doing anything about being who you want to be, find someone to get in touch with. You can find me on Facebook if you want to get in touch with me, but there's other girls all around the country now willing to hold your hand, get you out there so you can live the life, be the person you want to be.